Why do you like to be alive? There's an old man I sometimes visit who can talk your ear off for hours on end. You'll sit down with him, and he'll start to unload his stories, one after the other, of his old friends, his years in the radio industry, and his misadventures chasing women. Once, halfway through his usual ramble, he stopped, turned to me, and said, "You know what? Life is fun. And it stinks to know that I'm getting close to the end because the whole thing's just been so damned fun." That's always stuck with me. It's my belief that the person who's had the most successful life is the one who, when it's all said and done, has the best stories to tell his grandkids. I'm terminally ill, and the closer I've gotten to death, the more I've just sat back and watched nature, genuinely stopping to smell the roses. It's the little things in life that make life worth living. The family of birds in a nearby tree communicating with each other. The dog you wake up every morning to and can't wait to see you and be around you. I even noddly Lyle watching the trees rustle on a windy day. Watching my fish swim around their aquarium. Valuing the time and memories I make with my wife and friends. People that say life isn't worth living need to try their very best to smell the roses, watch the sunrise or sunset. I know sometimes life really can get us down in the dumps, but life is truly beautiful. There's a lot of places I still want to go, books I want to read, movies I want to see. Even if I don't get to experience it all before I die, I like the anticipation of it all. This right here. Very relatable. Also imagine all the cool stuff that might happen in the future. I haven't tried all the restaurants in my area, and it actually has been a good motivator to cherish the whole life thing. That is surprisingly extremely simple and cute and beautiful. I need a new area. Happiness in tiny things is absolutely the key to being truly happy. Walking to work or uni or whatever and looking at how cool certain buildings, clouds, clothing etc looks, and just appreciating the beauty of the world is a prime example. I survived cancer. I was given weeks to live and miraculously got remission. Life post-cancer is a terrible struggle, mentally and physically, but I wouldn't trade it for the alternative. I now get to watch my adorable niece grow up. I get to look at the world with a completely different perspective. I get to enjoy being with my wife and traveling the world as much as possible. Death would solve a lot of the pain I currently live with, but the eternal sadness it would cause my family would haunt me. I have a friend that's going through some tough times, so I like to check up on him every day and encourage him. You're a good friend. Watching sunrises with a hot cup of tea. Singing my favorite songs in a place with good acoustics. Using really soft yarn to knit something nice for someone. Calling a friend and hearing the joy in their voice when they realize it's me. Snow days. Making s'mores at a bonfire. It's all the little things. I hope you can find all the little things you love in life. There's so many. Please be safe, friend. You sound like a treasure to be around. Pretty sure no one will find this comment, but hey, today was a good day for me. I just got my first electric piano, and I'm eager to learn this instrument. Now that is a reason to be alive. Music. I wanna master this thing before I go. Be sure to share with us when you do. Music is a great reason to be alive, and making music is maybe even better. Sorry if this is too long, but I would really appreciate it if you can take the time to read. I spent the first half of my adult life living on fast forward. I worked hard to get through college with almost no student debt. I worked 60+ hours when off from school and full-time with a full-time schedule. I grew up with a have-not with uneducated parents and a single mom that broke her back so I could have an opportunity. I put that on my shoulders and powered through. I studied business and finance, and now I own a business. The thing is, despite being proud of that time, I can hardly remember feeling happy. I can remember laughing with friends from college I swore at the time were my brothers, or being in the trance-like state of being young and in love, but not just genuinely feeling happy. I know I was at times, but I can't recall clearly because of all the work and travel and thrill chasing. When I was 24, my mom, who was the monolith of everything good about my identity, got small cell lung cancer and died within the year. You want to talk about a blur? I cared for her as she did hospice in our home. And I can remember the wild ride of trying to do everything I could to make her smile, then everything I could to make her comfortable, then everything I could to squeeze a life's worth of life lessons into a week, to finally hoping with all my heart that she wasn't in pain as she laid there unable to respond to anything. If you want to talk about a hard stop to a breakneck life, then losing your beacon in the storm is it. At the end, I remember telling her I'd make her proud, that I'd do something with my education and make a name for myself. She said I'll be proud of you either way. Just typing that wrenches my gut now a decade later. One day I was pushing her on a wheelchair to this ice cream shop we had been to countless times in my childhood. It was less than a block away. She had me stop. I was confused. She told me she just wanted to close her eyes and feel the sun and listen to the robins. She told me that whenever the sunshine warmed my face, that she'd be holding my face in her hands. When she finally let go, her funeral was a real shock to the system. Not because she was actually gone, but because of the sheer number of souls at the funeral that I had never met. My mom and dad adopted me in their 30s. I met countless people from before that time that my mom had touched. She helped so many people get through school, leave abusive partners, kick drug habits, raise their kids, and the list goes on. It was a real eye-opener. She never had much money in her whole life. She had a long career in medical billing at the end. She didn't win the rat race per se, but she resonated so beautifully with so many people. Others and resonating beyond today in ways that are important. I think about all of the mistakes I made as a young adult. Being brash and insensitive, being naive and loud with my opinions, crossing the line of consent and autonomy in many ways with a lot of people, saying I didn't have time for the people I could see were struggling, taking advantage of people, and angling all the time to get ahead, which growing up in poverty is sort of a byproduct of survival and hard to shake, and also just not being there. I mean like autopilot life despite all of the rich things in life around me. If you read this far, just know this. I get up every morning and close my eyes and just listen. I take a minute and think about what a privilege it is to be able to take in even the mostly silent stimuli of an empty room. If my cat decides to sleep at my feet, I listen for her little kitty breath or watch her lungs fill up and rise and fall and think about whether she knows how much I love her. I have a cup of coffee and I really taste it. I think about the crazy process it goes through to even be a bean, much less be in a cup, warming my soul and opening my eyes. I have a busy schedule, no doubt, and I have a flood of stimuli barrages every day, but I spend so much time listening to the robins. I watch people like crazy. I take the time to match smiles sent my way. I don't let someone who I think is in pain pass by unnoticed, and I try to get to know people's paths that led to who they are today. Because understanding that much about someone gives you peace, even if it doesn't excuse what they do. I have a rule of taking 10. Take 10 seconds to calm down, take in, consider, feel, etc. 10 seconds to ask a question. 10 seconds to Google something you're curious about. 10 seconds to see just how rich everything is in this crazy beautiful existence. I can't stress enough how much better I feel every day through observation, and I close my eyes in the sunshine for mom every chance I get. For me, this is what life is, and I live for it to the fullest. Man, all the good in this world. Joking around and laughing with your friends until you can't breathe anymore. A random dog running up to you to sniff your butt. Getting your first kiss. The smells from bakeries when you head out in the morning. Staring at the moon late at night knowing there's someone out there doing the same. Hugging your parents after not seeing them for a while. Cuddling with you so after you did the beep peep skiddly do. A stranger's baby smiling at you when you're waiting for a bus. The taste of the watermelon on a hot summer day and laying on the couch under a blanket watching the flames in the fireplace on a cold winter evening. Listening to the music in your bed on a Friday night knowing you don't have to set up an alarm for tomorrow. Texting your crush late at night, both of you being dead as tired, but neither one wanting it to stop. The feeling of accomplishment when you finally learn to tie your shoes yourself. When you finally reach the bathroom after having to pee really bad. Telling a joke and the whole group of people laughs. Reading a book at the seaside while the sun unbeknownst to you slowly burns in a dick as sibling drew on your back with a sunscreen. Finally beating a game you've been playing for weeks. making a meme yourself, and thousands of strangers on Reddit like it too. When you inconsistently water your cactus, but the cactus is just fine with it and it blooms to thank you, and you didn't even know cactuses can bloom. When you're really tired after a workout and your muscles are sore the next day, but hey, you know you did something good for yourself. Starving yourself because you know grandma is going to cook your favorite meal and you have to eat it all. This is all I love about life, and I enjoy it truly. Every day is a new day and every day I have the chance to be excited and surprised with life's offerings. I keep hoping something worth living for will happen to me. Maybe it's up to you to make it happen. If you keep waiting for something to change, chances are slim it will. You can start small. Everyone's first steps are small in a way. I fought for it and got it back. Stood on a bridge in December, but family and therapy got me back on track. There are still a lot of lost emotions and confusion within me, but my therapist and me are working on it. That is the shit, right there. Being tough enough, or desperate enough, to work with whatever therapy can throw at you. Doing that can make you invincible, in a strange counterintuitive way. I never knew my father, and my wife is pregnant with our first child. I like being alive, because I'm about to get the chance to be the dad I needed when I was growing up. Feelings. I love to feel. I have no idea if that will be something I can experience once I'm gone. And it's rather very fascinating. Experiencing in general is probably the better term. I can try so much and there still is something I don't know anything about. A new kind of cooking, a new sport, climbing another mountain, seeing new things, having the next fall come in and see the leaves in a new pattern of red, orange and yellow. And this is just without leaving my usual environment. The sheer difference it would make if I just now took a plane to somewhere in Asia and start a new life there is mind-boggling, but beautiful. I love that about life. It never gets old. I like to remind myself that there's so much I have yet to experience in the world. Places to visit, food to eat, people to meet, milestones to complete. I'm really only getting started in this thing called life, and even though I had a rough start, there is so much more waiting out there for me. Honestly, to hear the birds chirping in the morning, light evening breezes, mom's cooking, exquisite moments where you laugh so hard your sides hurt, anything played on a Spanish guitar, that remarkable feeling that happens after emotional pain, where you can feel like yourself again, and relief washes over you. Blasting your favorite nostalgic tune and feeling the song's vibrations pulsing through you. It's the little things and nothing more. Truth. So dear stranger, why do you like to be alive?